Hey guys, so today I'm going to be building a 300-gallon filter out of 2 broken buckets, some tubing, and a trash can. All of this is basically trash that I found, and then some other supplies. Not all of those supplies, I just have a bunch of stuff in here because I've been working on projects, but all I really need is some silicone and that, and then I have a pump. So all of this was basically free. This was to an old pool. This wasn't free. I think it was like $10 or something, or maybe 11. It's 10 feet of tubing, and then, which I think you could just use like old hose for that if you had that, which I could probably do, but whatever. And then this is an old trash can. And these are broken buckets. They both have holes in the bottom. And then I have a pump. Now the pump was like $60-something, so that was pretty expensive, but it pumps like 1,600 gallons per hour, so it should be good for the 300 gallon. Here's the plan. We have 2 buckets here, as I said. One there, one here. This one is going to be hanging here by this, so just like this, it'll hang right in there, and then it'll have a bunch of holes in the bottom. I'm going to drill a bunch of holes in the bottom as well as the crack that's already there, and then I'll fill that pool filled with polyfilter, so polyester filling actually. So filtration, basically the mechanical filtration. Now this bucket will be down the bottom, and I'm going to drill holes all the way around the sides, all the way up to here. And actually, yeah, I'll probably just do the sides, and then this will be filled with biological filtration, and that'll be those like blue plastic things. I got some when I got my 125 gallons. Somebody gave me like a sump with it, but it wasn't like a proper sump. It was like small and plastic, and I don't really trust it to hold water. So, but it has a bunch of those, the ball things. So I'm gonna put those in here, and then this will sit in the bottom of here. So then this one will sit in the top of it like that. So then all the water from this will drain into there, and then it'll come out the sides, and then it'll fill up here to like however tall this is, and then it'll overflow into here, and then this whole system will be sitting on top of the 300-gallon stock tank. Here I'm actually real quick adding on these like post things, so then when I put the trash can on top of the 300-gallon, it won't fall off. And then the filter will sit down inside of the stock tank and then pump through this hose into the top of here, and then it'll just be a cycle. And then it'll go through polyester filling and biological filtration. Now, there is a couple things I need to do. So the bottom of this, I cleaned out all this stuff. Yes, I washed it to a trash can. So then there's like 3 holes in the bottom of this. You can see one right there, and then there's some other cracks and stuff. Basically, I'm gonna go around with silicone and go all around it. Now the thing is, that doesn't really matter so much because the pump is like really strong. So even if there is like a tiny little hole, like that hole's too big to have, but if there's like a tiny little hole anywhere and water's coming out, doesn't really matter too much because it's just going to go back into the thing anyway. The main idea of having this like filled with water is just to make sure it's going through the biological filtration. So then I'm going to drill a hole and just put this into the side as the overflow, and then the water will come out of here. So I'm gonna probably silicone this up a little bit on the inside. I gotta dry it out a little bit, silicone it up, and then I'm gonna take it outside and drill holes in this, and everything. So that's the plan. Before I took things outside, I removed all the stuff from the bucket, and then I siliconed the bottom of the trash can. Sorry that I turned you upside down here. I didn't realize that until editing right now. And then I brought everything outside to put in this hose, so then the water can come out of the trash can. Okay, so the filter is basically ready to go. The trash can part of it is essentially dry and cured, so I could basically set up the thing. Two issues. One is the pump is behind some stuff in my room, and I don't really want to get it yet. It's in the tank, and yeah. Anyway, it's also cold out here, and the idea that what I want to do is when I fill this up, I want to fill it up with warm water. So like, what is it, like 75 degrees, like inside. So then I can move the goldfish right out here without any issues, and I can move the turtles out here, and then it'll slowly cool down, because I don't plan it to be, 75 degrees when I move them out here, but I need it to be warmer than it is now. And like today, when I woke up, it was like 34 degrees out here, and like there's been really warm days, but there's also been like cooler days, and I can move the goldfish out when it's still like colder, but like that's when like the very least I want it to get to is like 40, 50 at nighttime, and then get up to like 70 whatever's during the day, or 60, 70 whatever's during the day, and then I'll be all right with having them out here. So I can't exactly set it up yet. So I just tried to fill it up a little bit to let the filter media sit inside with some water and stuff, but it leaked, and it wasn't like a small thing. For some reason there's just like a really big crack right here now, so I have a towel. I'm gonna wipe it out inside here, and then I have the silicone, and I'm gonna silicone that crack really well, and then I'm also gonna silicone on the inside of this, because I wasn't gonna mess with it if I didn't have to, but since I am already siliconing now, I'm going to, and then I'm gonna leave it out here because it's pretty warm, and I think it should be all good. So real quick, I'm siliconing it. I actually had to redo this twice before it was finally done. Okay, so since the last clips, it is now warm enough in a way. So here's my lovely temperature gun, and this doesn't get the exact temperature of the water, but it does get a good estimate of like the warmest part at least, which is generally the top. And it says 73, which is pretty warm, and it's been staying consistently between 60 and I guess 80 for a couple days now. And it's not because it's super warm outside. It's actually that I got donated heaters. So I'm taking in turtles again. So I say donated. I got a ton of stuff with some of the turtles. So I have 2 fluval heaters in here, like huge ones, and they're set to like 90 degrees. And one of them literally won't go down from 90 degrees, which is pretty annoying. But I have this in here, and it's kind of been cycling. What I've been doing is I have these filter pads from Norman's tank, and I have them here. So I'm hoping that what that's doing is cycling the tank. But another thing, because you need to have stuff like feces and old food and like decomposing stuff inside the tank to get it cycled. So like generally people will add either straight ammonia or food or something to get a tank cycled, because I have all of this biological filtration here to properly cycle it. So I've been adding that, but there's also this, which is going to add those types of things. This wood, as well as this piece of wood, will add those types of things, as well as some leaves in here, I'm pretty sure. So basically what I'm getting to is I can go inside, remove the filter from the tank, I'm going to clean it, and then I'm going to bring it out here, and we can finally set this properly up. I have this filled with water too, so it's been doing really well being filled with water. So I'm just going to go ahead and lift that up, put that in there, set all this up, but I can set it up now. So then I'm going to go ahead and move the fish. But I don't know if you've seen, but there are turtles in here. There's like 6 of them. 4 of them haven't even been introduced to you guys yet. Like I said, I've been taking in turtles. It's warm out here today, so I'm just letting them swim around because it's warm in the water and it's warm outside. I can't move the other turtles in yet because it isn't warm enough outside consistently, like day and night and everything. So that's the plan. I'll bring these guys in tonight. Also, this is a whole nother video, and right now I'm using this as the little turtles basking area, just in case they want to get out and bask today. So I have this, like I said, I was donated stuff, so I have this biological media as well. I have 2 bags of this within this thing. And then I also got chemical filtration, so I think I'll go ahead and add that as well. And then I have all this lava rock, and I'm actually building a couple other filters with 5-gallon buckets and stuff, and I'll be using this lava rock, which is pretty interesting. I got it like $4 something at Lowe's, which is pretty cool. So there was a yellow by slider. So I'm gonna go ahead, go inside, get the filter cleaned up, and start moving out everybody. So I brought out the pump along with the chemical filtration and mechanical filtration. Then I added the biological filtration into the filter, and then my phone cut out for some reason because it says I have low storage, which I don't know why it says that. But anyway, this is really quiet for a filter that is in a filter 300 gallons. Literally the only noise is the pump there, or not even the pump. You can't even hear the pump. It's literally just the water going in. Like it's almost completely silent. So this should, in theory, be enough to do everything. I will raise the water so then the water's like splashing to make a little bit more noise, but also to create that flow and whatnot. But now I'm going to go add in the goldfish. That'll be in a different video. But this pump, this is how, or this filter, this is how it works. So as you can see, 2 buckets. One has mechanical filtration. Underneath that, it has biological filtration. And you guys didn't really see this very much. This one has holes at the bottom. Okay. Hopefully you can see that. And then that one, the bottom one, has holes, not only that crack, but also holes all around it. So when I went ahead and lifted this out and put it into here, you could, you might have been able to see all the water coming out of it. It has holes around it. So then the filter, so the water goes to this through this mechanical filtration here. Okay, and then this is 100% polyester filling, so it's bedding basically, what you put instead of like blankets or whatever. I think I got like a huge tube that's lasted me since last summer for $13, I think. And then all of that biological filtration in the other bucket, which you could easily use this. Again, I got this for like $4. Those would work just as well, if not better. Would probably be enough to fill up this. And then I also have those other types of, basically just a bunch of filtration that I got for free at some point. They're like proper filtration, but I'd just use lava rock if I didn't have that. And then around this, you can see the trash cans filled with water. I actually threw in some bags of activated carbon. So you can see right here. So just like the bags of whatchamacallit, and just like the bags of biological filtration, I got that activated carbon for free. Somebody gave it to me, and I figured I might as well use it, and those 2 bags took up the last of it. So that's just that's chemical filtration. It's just an extra polisher basically. And then as the water goes through all of that, it comes out of the goes into this tube, which is really roughly siliconed here. I think it's actually leaking, or if I like move it around too much, it'll start leaking. And then it goes back into the tank. And then the pump is all the way over here. So that means the water is circulating all the way here. And then this is a 1,600 gallons per hour, but this is quite a long tube, so it's not going to be quite that. But basically, it's going to keep this going pretty well. Actually, and this isn't filled all the way up, and it's not finished. I know it's literally just a tub of water with a bunch of wood thrown in it. It'll look a lot better. This here is going to have plants. I'll find a place for that. That'll have plants. I mean, it won't look that much better. It's pretty much this. It's real rickety and crap-like, but I don't care as long as it works and the filter works and everything. And then I'm going to have this tub to add on. Sorry for the mess around here. This is where I throw stuff that needs to be cleaned. It's going to be right here, and it's actually going to be added filtration. Also, it's going to be for the little turtles. And then you can see that nozzle right there. This is one of the things that was given to me. It has that nozzle there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect a tube that comes up, like like comes up, goes like this, and then I'm gonna take the white tube that's coming out of the trash can, and I'm gonna have it flow into this. So then this will fill up with water a certain amount, and then it'll drain out of that back into the tank. So then this tank is connected to the full system here. I'm gonna put rocks in it and plant plants. Like I'm just gonna really stock this with plants, like have like maybe an island over here or something with a ton of plants growing out, different things I've thought about, just to add more filtration, but also have those little turtles in here. And what little turtles I'm talking about are the 2 red-eared sliders. There's one right there. There's a little red-eared slider. And then the yellow-belly sliders seem to be back here somewhere. Here's the yellow-belly slider. So, it's been enjoying. I saw it basking earlier. That's Ethel. You'll see her in a future video. Tons of future videos coming up. I gotta clean up a little bit. So, have a fantastic day. Hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more content.